Okay. What is up, Lahore? Hello. That's weak. All right, I'm going to ask you to participate a lot. Hello. All right. Wow, I was so pleased to say you are one beautiful crowd. My name is Dan Ulin, founder and CEO of Elite Student Coach. I take brilliant kids like you and empower you to go from exceptional to unstoppable. How many of you would like to go and become unstoppable? Give me a yeah. All right. This is so awesome. Okay. Parents around the world pay me a lot of money to work with their kids. I work on a one-to-one basis only. So there's not enough time in this, how long is it, 12 minute, something like that, 15-minute presentation to do this. I'm going to break it down for you into 3 easy steps, and then I have a surprise for you at the end. Is it okay if I give you a surprise at the end that's worth a lot of money? I'm going to give it to you. You okay with that? I heard no. No? Is it okay? Do I hear a yeah? All right, okay. Here are the 3 steps. It's 3 easy steps. Step number 1, lean in. Step number 2, stand out. Step number 3, step up. Let me break that down for you. Lean in. I talked about this yesterday when I was on the panel, but many of you weren't here. So here's what lean in means. Lean in part 1. I'm told they got 2 fingers. Lean in part 1. Leaning in part 1 means leaning into the things that you already know that you love to do. So let's say that you love comp sci, or let's say that you love building robots, or let's say that you love baking bread. It could be anything that you like. Now, when I'm speaking to you, I'm talking to some of the very young people here. I see some kids who are, 12, 13, 14 years old. And I see some people who are already in their 20s. So I'm speaking in general terms. Everything that I'm talking about, by the way, I empower kids to get into colleges and graduate schools, but this applies to you whether or not you are going to college or uni or grad school or not. Okay? Fair enough? So lean in part 1. Lean into the things that you know you love already. Lean in part 2. Lean in part 2 means leaning into the things that scare you the most. How many of you are scared of some things, like not knowing what you want to, and thank you, Jimmy, for lining that up for me beforehand, not knowing what you want to do in the future. Raise your hand if you don't know what you want to do in the future. Raise them high. I can see you. All right. Here's the deal. Not knowing what you want to do is awesome. Here's the where you land on it. Not knowing and then sitting in the not know is not a great place to be. But not knowing and being curious and saying, I don't know, but I want to find out. Or even better, I don't know, but let's find out together. That's a great place to land. Okay, so that's the lean in part. Part 2, stand out. If getting into amazing schools in the States or here in Pakistan has some of the greatest schools in the world. Would you agree? Would you agree? Bring it, would you agree? You have fabulous schools, and you're graduating 1 million students a year in a country that has, the census count, last census count in this country was 2017, so I'm hearing about 225 million. It's probably closer to 275 or 300 million. But that's 1 million students per year coming out, and we heard yesterday that industry cannot possibly absorb all of these students, so it means that you're going to have to become more entrepreneurial, which is awesome, yes? So if standing out when it comes to applying for jobs or applying for jobs meant just having great credentials, or applying to schools meant having great grades and having great test scores, everybody would get into schools and everybody would get the same jobs. Standing out means standing out in a way that is uniquely you. Let me give you an example. Sir, the gentleman who was just up here, what a great pleasure meeting you. Tell me something that you do that you love so much in your life. Connecting people. What a wonderful way of doing it. Okay, connecting people. Yeah, let's give him a hand. I mean, that's a wonderful thing. And there are so many ways of connecting people. But maybe you, and I'm just going to vamp on this, maybe you connect people in a way that's very, very different. Maybe you are able to recognize something in this person, and I realize that I should connect this person with this person, and you make a call and you connect them, and magic happens, yes? It's magical when we connect people. And let's say that you are applying for a job. You're a young person. You look pretty young to me now, but let's say you're younger, and you were applying for a job, or you were applying to a school. That way of connecting people that is uniquely you is the thing that's going to help you stand out. There's a saying in marketing that you want to be first, better, or different. Now, being first is tricky. When I say first, name the first electric car on the planet. Yeah, everybody says Tesla. Nope, it wasn't Tesla. It might have been the EV1. None of you were born when the EV1 came out, but everybody says Tesla. Being first is very difficult. You know, Coca-Cola may be a first. It's really hard to be first. You're definitely not going to be the first great applicant to any company or any school. So first is tough. Better is in the eye of the beholder. How many of you study comp sci or anything related to science or... Oh, come on, raise your hands. I know there's a lot of scientists and mathematicians here. All right, all of the hands go up. That's awesome, except for that one guy out there. He's like, nope, not me. Thank you, one guy out there. You're awesome. So it's better is in the eye of the beholder, but you could always be different. Strive to be different. And if you can't be different, have one of your friends or trusted advisors. Have your friends sit around and say, what's different about me? What do you see in me that is different from anybody else out there? It's those differences that are going to help you punch through the clutter. Yeah? Oh, there's my slide. Can we advance to the next slide, please? Person who is in charge of advancing slides. This is just my cover, and then this is my... Okay, great. Punch through that clutter. Become distinctive in a way that is absolutely unforgettable. Great. This is my logo. And the reason I bring up my logo is this. Become fearlessly different. A lion is fearless. Yes? Yes? Make a sound like a lion. Roar! Let me hear it. Now, come on, louder. I want to hear a lion. Come on. Who made us sound like a house cat? Wow, that was crazy. All right, so you guys are so awesome. I can't stand it. All right. Part 2, the star. What's your North Star vision? What is the vision that you're going for? And again, you don't have to know. You don't have to know that I want to be a robotics scientist, or I want to be a professional dancer, or I want to be a writer. You just have to figure that out over time. All of you are going to have multiple and serial and parallel careers, right? You're going to have careers that overlap and dance and interact with one another. That's a beautiful thing. But the reason that the North Star is there is based on this idea. If you don't know where you're going, you will surely get there. Have a distant point on the horizon that you are going towards, yes? And lean into that. Fair enough? How many of you have ever had a goal that you've tried to reach and there's beauty in getting there even though it hasn't been perfect along the way? Yeah? Raise your hands. Raise them high. You guys are awesome. That's part 2. That's stand out. Part 3, step up. There's a saying, and it's been said by Marcus Aurelius and Sun Tzu, power is not earned, it's taken. Now that doesn't have to be a mean thing. It's that nature abhors a vacuum. Whenever there's a vacuum, something's going to fill it. Take your power. Yes? I will give you an example. Many people apply for jobs or apply for internships or they wait for the opportunity to come along. So let's say that you are in, how many of you are in university right now? Or college? Or a lot of you. And how many of you would like to get, say, a research position with one of your professors? Raise it. Okay, cool. Great. And the typical way that this happens is that students will wait for a position to get posted, and then everybody will stampede towards that. Does that happen in your school? Everybody waits for a position to get posted, and then everybody goes for it? Yeah, that's usually how it happens. And I see somebody frantically waving. Okay, here's one way to go about it, recommended way to go about it. I'm watching for my 10-minute warning. Don't wait. Identify your 5 favorite professors in that school, or if you're looking for a job, your 5 favorite companies. Write a 1-page business plan, literally 1 paragraph, telling the potential employer or telling the professor what you can do for him or her. Don't go in saying, I want to do this. Talk about what you can do for them. We are all creatures of self-interest. What's in it for them? Go in and say, this is what I think I can do. This is what I think I can do for you. This is what I think I can do for you. Will you give me an opportunity to do this? Make a list of 5 or 10 of those. I guarantee you that by the time you hit you may strike gold on the first one. but I guarantee you by the time you get to the third or fourth or fifth one, somebody's going to say yes. And why? Because the way that people do one thing is the way they do everything. And if you show up that way in the beginning, the professor or the employer is going to say, wow, if Manur showed up this way, imagine how she's going to show up later on, okay? So, I'll add on a couple of other things. It's not where you go to college, it's not the company that you work for, it's how you show up where you go. So in my country, for example, there's Harvard and there's Yale, there's Stanford, they're great schools. Those are great schools, but it doesn't matter if you go to those, or it doesn't matter if you work at a Tesla or an Apple. Yeah, those are great companies, but it's not about where you go, it's how you show up where you go. Does that make sense? I'm reading 5 minutes. Thank you very much, sir. Okay. Does this resonate with you? Does this make sense? You all have great power. Tell me, I got power. Same guy. Thank you, one guy. I want to hear all of you say it. I am powerful. Let me hear it. Yeah, you are. You are. And because you're so powerful, I made a decision this morning. I told you, I charge parents around the world a great deal of money. Hundreds of thousands of dollars to work with them. And there's a reason that I do that. But I made a decision today to pass that on to you. Is that okay with you? Same guy and his two friends. Is that okay with you if I give you a gift that's worth several $100,000, all of you? No strings attached? Is that okay? All right, here it is. I'm sorry, Will, what's it called? Okay, I've started a Facebook group several hours ago called the Young Leaders Success Circle. Now, I know the connection here is not good. Young Leaders Success Circle. Join it. No strings attached. There's no cost at all. Nothing. Just join it. Come in. Tell us that you have joined from this group, and I will come in at least twice a month, answer any questions that you have, and I'll probably do some Facebook Lives. Will that help? Will that be helpful? You can talk about jobs you're looking for. You can talk about anything that matters, and I will do the same thing for you that I do for these parents on a more limited basis. How does that sound? Oh, come on, guys. How does that sound? All right. Where is our wonderful MC? Okay, where are you? Oh, let's give it up for this amazing, and let's give it up for the whole team that's put this incredible event together, yeah? Give it up. All right. The only thing I ask for in return for joining the Young Leaders Success Circle, and I want to honor you by being here, is to have you shout out my name so that we can honor you when we're using this video. Is that okay with you?
So
okay. All right. So my name is pronounced Dan Ulin. Nick, can you take it over from here?
So we're going to say Dan Ulin 3 times. We're going to have a practice run. Dan Ulin.
Much louder, please.
Yeah, it was a test run.
It was a test run. That was really good. You guys are really amped up. So, all right.
Do you want to stand
Could everybody
up?
stand up?
Maybe we need the power from the feet.
Stand up.
And
yeah.
thank you
so much. Thank you so much. Wow. Okay, Dan. And if some of you want to turn on your flashlights too on your phones,
let's make this a moment.
Oh yeah, let's make this. Come on, this is the closing session of the day. More flashlights. More cowbell.
Let's sway.
Oh, this is magic.
All right, ready? Dan Ulin. Oh,
one more time.
Dan Ulin.
I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Inshallah, I hope our paths cross again. I'm Dan Ulin. See you again. Thanks so much.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Dan.